In a world of endless blue seas and skies dotted with fluffy white clouds, there lived a very special cat. Her name was Yuta, and her fur was as white as fresh snow, with one ear a brilliant red and the other a soft pink. Yuta wasn't just any cat. She possessed a magical voice. When she sang, her melodies could weave dreams into reality, creating a world of pure happiness and vibrant color for anyone who listened. Yuta lived on a beautiful, music-filled island called Elegia, a paradise she had built with her songs. Cats from all over the world sailed across the Grand Line to hear her sing. There were pirate cats with tiny eye patches, navy cats in crisp little uniforms, and ordinary island cats, all drawn by the promise of her enchanting voice. Yuta's dream was simple: to create a new era of peace and joy when no one ever had to feel sad or lonely again. One day, a ship with a straw hat Jolly Roger sailed into Elegia's harbor. Aboard was a crew of quirky pirate cats, led by a black cat named Luffy, who wore a tiny, worn-out straw hat. Luffy wasn't like the other cats who came just for the music. He and Yute had been kittenhood friends, playing together long before she became the world's greatest diva. Luffy bounded off the ship, his tail wagging excitedly. "Uta," he called. "It's me," he meowed, a wide, goofy grin on his face. Yuta's eyes widened in surprise and delight. "Luffy, you came." She leaped down from her grand stage, her bells jingling, and nuzzled him warmly. For a moment, they were just two old friends, reminiscing about their days as kittens, chasing butterflies and sharing bowls of milk. But their happy reunion was short-lived. Yuti's vision of happiness was different from Luffy's. She wanted to keep everyone in her dream world forever, a place where pain and struggle didn't exist. She believed this was the only way to truly save them. Luffy, however, believed that true freedom meant facing the world's challenges, both good and bad, with your friends by your side. Adventure, struggle, and even sadness were all part of a full life. "You can't just trap everyone in a dream," Luffy pleaded, his usual cheerful demeanor gone, replaced by a serious determination. "That's not real happiness." Uta's ears drooped. "You don't understand, Luffy," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Out there, the world is harsh. There's hunger, fighting, and loss. In my world, everyone is safe. Everyone is happy. Why can't you see that this is better?" Her sadness twisted into resolve, and she began to sing. But this time, her song wasn't one of pure joy. It was a powerful, commanding melody that sought to pull everyone, including Luffy's crew, deeper into her dream world. The sky above Elegia darkened, and musical notes turned into glowing, magical chains, wrapping around the other cats. Zoro, the green-furred swords cat, tried to slash the chains with his tiny toy katanas, but they just reformed. Nami, the ginger navigator cat, tried to predict their movements, but the magical notes were too chaotic. Sanji, the blonde cook cat, tried to kick them away with his fiery paws, but they were intangible. Luffy knew he had to stop her. But how could he fight his oldest friend? He looked at his crew, trapped but still fighting, and he knew what he had to do. He had to reach the real Yute, the kitten he knew, who just wanted to make people smile. As Yuta's song reached its crescendo, a dark, monstrous form began to materialize from her own shadow, the Tot Musica. A demon king of music born from her loneliness and despair. It was a terrifying beast, made of twisted musical scores and discordant notes, threatening to consume not just the dream world, but the real world too. But Yuta was terrified. This wasn't the happiness she wanted to create. The demon was feeding on her desire to control everything, twisting her beautiful dream into a nightmare. Seeing her fear, Luffy stretched his rubbery paws, a unique ability he got from a strange fruit, and launched himself towards the monstrous entity. "I won't let you hurt my friend," he yelled. Meanwhile, another ship had appeared on the horizon. It was a red-nosed pirate cat with a magnificent mane. He was Yute's adoptive father, the one who had found her as a lost kitten and left her on Elegia to keep her safe. He had heard her song across the ocean and sensed the danger. Shanks and his crew leaped into action in the real world, fighting the physical manifestation of the Tot Musica that was mirroring the one in Yute's dream. It was a battle fought on two fronts. Inside the dream, Luffy and his crew fought to protect you. Outside, Shanks and his crew fought to save the world. Luffy pushed through the storm of chaotic notes and finally reached Yute. "Sing with me, Yuta," he shouted over the din. "Not a song to trap people, but a song that gives them courage. The kind of song you always wanted to sing." Tears streamed down Uta's face. She looked at Luffy, then at her father Shanks, fighting for her in the other world. She finally understood. True happiness wasn't about erasing sadness, but about having friends who stand with you through it. Taking a deep breath, Yuta began to sing again. This time, her voice harmonized with Luffy's determined shouts. It was a song of hope, of friendship, and of freedom. The melody was so pure and powerful that it began to unravel the Tot Musica. The dark entity shrieked as the light from her song purified its discordant energy. As their combined power struck the final blow, the dream world of Elegia began to fade. The cats started to wake up, finding themselves back on their ships or on the shores of the real island. The sky cleared and the sun shone down once more. But the effort had taken its toll on Yuta. She had poured all of her life force into that final song. She collapsed, her body growing faint. Luffy rushed to her side, and Shanks appeared from his ship, his face etched with sorrow. Lutta smiled weakly, nuzzling against Shanks's paw. "Dad, Luffy. I'm so glad I got to see you both again," she purred softly. Her voice, once the most powerful in the world, was now a faint whisper. With one last, peaceful sigh, her eyes closed and her magical voice was silenced forever. The sea was quiet. The cats of the world, pirate and navy alike, mourned the loss of the diva who had given them a beautiful dream, even for a little while. Luffy stood on the deck of his ship, his straw hat casting a shadow over his eyes. He didn't cry. Instead, he looked out at the horizon, at the endless adventure that awaited. Yuta was gone, but her song of hope would live on in the hearts of everyone who heard it. She had taught them all that even in a world of struggle, the dream of a new, happier era was worth fighting for. Together, and with that, the Straw Hat Cats set sail, carrying her memory with them on their journey to become the king of the pirate cats. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow 4 more stories from the Grand Line.